Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. This is another one of those monthly readings, only this time we're going to be looking at September. As usual, we'll be looking at each of your birth months for September, and as we go through, if you haven't been here before, then you might find something that's quite different from the usual sorts of predictions that are made on YouTube. If you are a regular viewer, then welcome back. I hope that your August went as it should have, and if you used the colours that were missing to incorporate those into your lives, then maybe, just maybe, it was a better August for you than it might otherwise have panned out. I'm particularly thankful to you for attending these sessions because I really am still in the experimental stage, wondering whether or not these are worthwhile. But they're fun to do, and I hope you enjoy them as well. So let's get started. For September's readings, I've chosen an oracle card from the Gabrielle Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. It's a new season, and so we should have some interesting stuff coming to us from the universe. And hopefully those messages will resonate with you and consolidate some of the reading as we go along. So now we do a reading for people born in the month of May to see how September will work out for them. And the shuffling hasn't improved any, I'm afraid. All right, so let's take that top card and pop it under here for later. And now I want a colour reading for people born in the month of May to see how September 2025 will eventuate for them. As usual, I've pre-shuffled the cards because I need to. And now a reading for people born in the month of May, please. So we begin the month with cyan on purple. Middle of the month is grey on purple. And then we go to red on brown, and the underlying energy is green on black. Very well. So what we notice first off is that we have one colour that has been repeated, and it's repeated as the underlying needs, drives, or motivations in both what we bring in from the past, but also what we have throughout the month in the majority of it. Now, permeating the entirety of the month is the underlying energy here, which is green on black. When we have black internally, it means time out. It's a need for retreat. It's a need to just simply settle back and relax and get in touch with your own inner self. Now, that could be getting in touch with spirit. It could be in touch with your intuition. It just simply could be recovering from some other physical thing that has caused you to be flattened out. In the real world, there are opportunities. There are things that your heart wants to give to you or allow you to take advantage of. But those opportunities are only available as long as you take the time out to get involved with thinking about what it is that you really desire, what you really need, what is good for you. And it means that you're going to have to change some of your values. The opportunities that are there, all the same, are hidden from you at the moment. And that's something that will permeate throughout the entirety of the month. Now, in the past, coming into the month, you've had cyan on purple. Now, cyan on purple is, as far as the tarot is concerned, is the Nine of Cups. So you've come to pretty much the end of a major journey in which everything that you desire is there, has been there, and is now available to you. And it has been throughout the month of August. Internally, there's been a desire for change, a desire to disrupt what was and create something new. In the real world, there's been peace and quiet and harmony, and not a lot of change taking place. In fact, everything's been incredibly stable. One could even say almost stagnant. But the drive to make things new, to create something out of what was, is still there. Now, if we look at what the underlying energy has done with this, is we find this need for making change, this need to create something new at the same time to destroy what was old, has come about as a result of having opportunities available to you. Things have shown themselves as ways of doing something new, something different. There's been a lot of change of values, a lot of thinking about things in a different direction that has happened. And as a result of that, this purple energy, this purple drive to create those changes has come through as changes that are available to you. Now, interestingly enough, the green on purple is the tarot card that's called the Star, and that means it's all about hope. You've maintained hope energy throughout the month of August, even though it didn't seem as though there was any real opportunity to make the changes that you wanted, or the opportunities that were perhaps opening up to you, the different ways of looking at things, the value changes that are happening. All of those have been there, but you may not necessarily have noticed them because they're not in the same combination, but they are a cross purpose between your underlying energy and what was in August. On the other hand, you've also got this creation of stability and quiet and contentment and everything that is potentially there available to you, that makes things so quiet that it's almost stagnant, has come about as a result of you taking time out to listen to your inner voice, to listen to what's going on internally, to allow time to create the peace that was necessary. So even though things seem to have not moved a great deal, in fact, you've had opportunities to realign yourself, and that's exactly what has happened here. You wanted change, you got peace. You wanted peace, you got opportunities for change. And that realignment has now created something for you that has led you to a situation where, even though you still want those changes, you still want to make something new out of what was. In the real world, you're no longer 100% certain of what it is that you wanted, or how to go about doing it, or even which direction to take. So there's a bit of confusion happening here. The confusion comes about as a result of you're still crashing down the things that were, and you're recreating into something new. You're creating something energetic, but in the real world, there isn't a great deal of energy there because grey does not have any colour or hue in it as such. Cross that with the underlying energy, and what do we have here? We have grey, that is the confusion, the uncertainty, the lack of clarity, over black, which is the total absence of any form of clarity in the first place, the time out. Grey over black means there is a period coming up for you in September in which things will not look as though they are travelling anywhere in any direction very fast. It's going to be a fairly slow moving energy. You're not going to feel as though you are achieving anything. The rewards aren't coming. There is very little here in this black and grey combination that makes you feel hopeful. Unlike the potential hope that you had here, this is now a case of, do I really want to continue with what I'm doing? At the same time, you've also got the green energy and the purple energy, which were the hope back here, re-emerging throughout the major part of the month. So you're caught between a situation in which you feel hopeful and energy in which you feel as though you really aren't bothered as to whether or not you even want to continue. How do we reconcile these? Well, by the end of the month, enthusiasm has returned. Red in the real world means an absolute surge of energy that is causing you to move forward. But it's moving forward in a direction that was probably different to what was happening back here. Because underlying this, the thing that has caused this sudden surge of energy to move forward is a change in your goals. You've decided on a particular direction to take. By the end of the month, by the end of September, you will be aligning yourself with the sort of manifestations that are going to take you places where you probably would have liked to have gone back here, but for some reason or other that was delayed. And it's all because you have maintained that sense of hope. If we take these two across, if we have the red on black, then this is in red and black, whether it's red over black or black over red, doesn't really matter. It's both, those two colors together are a identity crisis. It's a wanting to determine just who or what you are. What are you going to present yourself as to the world? How are you going to present yourself? What sort of roles are you going to be playing? Internally, you still are trying to keep in touch with your inner self, but externally, you are displaying a dominance, an ability to take charge of a particular situation. And even though black internally often indicates sadness, it indicates depression, mourning, all those sorts of things, nevertheless, you can survive them. Not just survive, but also thrive, because red is the energy that is enough to be able to do anything, head in any direction, and succeed in whatever it is that you're trying to do. Similarly, we have green. This is the getting out there and taking opportunities as they come towards you. Only this time it's bounded by or motivated by the underlying drives here of creating goals, ambitions, learning the practical skills that are necessary in order to be able to move forward in any direction. Whereas here, you're using it as red energy, that is, you have more than enough energy to get out there and succeed at what you're doing, or at least have a go at it. Down here with the green, instead, you are being given the opportunities to do so. Remembering that green and red are indeed opposites on the color wheel. So regardless of what your goals and ambitions and your potential manifestation energy is heading towards, you have a choice between, do I stick with something that I am determined to do, or do I simply grab whatever opportunities are available? And the interesting thing here is that when we mix green and red together, we end up with brown. So regardless of which direction you take, you're still going to be able to manifest whatever your goals were by the end of the month. The black also deals with both the red and green dichotomy. Getting in touch with your inner self, being able to retreat mentally and physically, taking that time out, will result in you either finding new opportunities or recreating, regathering, re-energizing yourself. And either way, it still enables you to move forward. So how do we do this? If we look at the colors that are missing, if I can get them all out, what we have here is black, but there's no white. You have red, but no yellow. You have green, but no blue. You have brown, but no orange. You have grey, and you have purple, but there's no pink, but you do have cyan. So here we have 7 colours, 7 lots of skills that are available to you throughout the month of September that will enable you to take advantage of this underlying energy of keeping in contact with your internal self and not only recognizing but taking advantage of opportunities as they arise. What is not available to you and what you should consider making available are these 5 colours: inspiration, knowledge, dedication, organisation, getting the work done, being able to meet and overcome crises, and at the same time finding the sort of positive life sustaining energy that makes you not only like yourself but also be attractive to others, being able to accept help. So white, yellow, blue, orange and pink are the colours which, if you choose the one that is most appealing and then the one that is least appealing, will guide you towards being able to overcome whatever trepidation there exists in this underlying energy of black that is trying to make you move inwards rather than outwards, whereas these colours are all about moving outwards, particularly the green. All right, let's have a look at what the Oracle has to say on the topic. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Honestly, sometimes I wonder about these oracles. A spirit having a human experience. Well, you can't be more spiritual than black, and your human experience has to be red and green. So you're having your spiritual experience, and you're closer to love. Love is pink. Maybe that is a hint for you. What colours will you choose? And there you have it, your birthday month as it plays out for September 2025. I hope that these readings are useful to you to help guide you through the various different decisions that need to be made and the activities that accompany those decisions. But if it doesn't resonate immediately, perhaps come back in a week or so, because you never know just how these things tend to play out. And often we don't recognize them unless they are in retrospect. As I mentioned at the start, I pre-shuffle all the cards, and if you want to know how I go about doing this, I will attach a link to the video that explains that down below in the show notes. But if you've got any comments to make, any ideas that either support or even refute the sort of information that I'm handing out here, please leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to engage. After all, a discussion isn't a discussion. A conversation is not a conversation when there's only one person doing the talking. So for September, I wish you all the best. I hope your colours work for you. I certainly use mine. Mine this month were all about to stop, settle back and reorganize. And as you can see from the way in which I've presented this month's sessions, I've done a little bit of just that. So until next time, may your colours guide you to a wonderfully fulfilling life. Bye.